Call this meeting of the Toledo City Council, which is a regular meeting for June 18th, to order. Our first item is pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes.
Mayor, we called the urban renewal board together. Is that what we just did?
No,
No, because your reporter told me to do.
regular session, no.
You didn't?
Yes.
My bad.
No worries.
Public health is hard to find. I know, well, now the, it's just confused.
I'll take a roll call. Councilor Kaufman.
Here.
Councilor Sylvia.
Yes, sir.
Councilor Mick.
Yep,
Councilor Burns.
right here.
Councilor Keating.
Yes.
Council President Bush.
Yes.
I am present. We have 7. At this time, is there anyone who would like to address the council on matters not on our agenda? Or anyone online?
We have somebody out here.
Bill, come on up. State your name for the record.
My name is Bill Riley. I had approached the city council last year, I think it was in about this time, about adding a couple more signs, speed limit signs to Gaither Way. It's been posted at 15 miles an hour for scores of years. But that doesn't seem to inhibit the indigenous life forms that drive motorcycles and cars. Somebody said at one point that, well, that only counts when you're going around the corner entering from 10th either direction to go on to Gaither. I'm thinking, I don't ever remember reading any of that in any state I've driven in. So we only have one at the corner of Gaither and 10th. And I was hoping to have another one at least halfway on either side. And so both ways, so if traffic coming down the street would see it going up the street as well. I don't think you can see the 15-mile-an-hour speed limit when you get down to 10th Street at the end, at the distal end of Gaither. I think it's only on the one side headed south. So I was requesting additional signage. And I had driven on the, what I would call the frontage road, for lack of the real street name, in Newport. When you're going to Walmart, back way, they've installed 3 different speed bumps, black and yellow in color. And I think they're maybe 1.5 feet, maybe 2 feet wide. And that seems to inhibit anyone speeding. That would be nice in a couple areas on that street. Even if we could get one, it would be a big improvement. At least from 9th to 10th, well, it is possible of 50 miles an hour. But you'd hope that they would be a deterrent.
So there's still a problem with people speeding and.
I don't know that they do that on Fur, which is the house.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Yeah. And I think that's posted at 25.
Yeah, they don't care.
So, yeah, thank you very much. Well, I had earlier proposed to a sheriff that came to the hardware store one day, and even the detective, that we changed the signs in town from stop to pause. if it fits your need at the time. Sarcastically.
Yeah.
Because they don't care either.
So David, can you work with our law enforcement and public works to see if that can be addressed?
Bring this up with our next staff meeting, see what path, but it is, in my sense, is that there's a council consensus on this. I will visit with you back at the end of the meeting about that.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Bill.
Okay, thanks.
There's somebody online that raised their hand.
So Amber, once the guest starts speaking, there should be a 3-minute time on the timer on there.
We'll keep it manually for now until we figure out all the
That'll
technical.
be fine. Thank you.
Is it okay to go ahead?
Emily, go ahead.
Hi, my name is Emily Zajac. I'm with Oregon Beverage Services. I am unable to be on the entirety of the meeting tonight, but I just wanted to jump on real quickly. I wasn't quite sure where our proposal was going to be added into your agenda. So if I could give either a quick overview or anything that might answer some preliminary questions, or I didn't want to disrupt the agenda, but just wanted to introduce myself quickly before I had to jump off.
I don't know.
Or I don't before the very tail end of the agenda.
Is it for Glastonbury or is it for the Summerfest?
Neither. Is
President Lee, is that right?
that right?
Summerfest.
Summerfest. One of these papers we can sell it.
Oh, there it is. We asked her some questions.
Yeah, she said you could.
Yeah, so
Didn't know that would be brought because the timing.
We want to move the agenda items that we can.
So- I'm gonna move you up to the first item on our decision item so that we can get you to the head of the line. So that you can go through this with us.
Okay.
So thank you. Just stay online. We've got consent agenda up next and then we'll get right into this.
I appreciate that so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to address council?
Budget hearing? Not yet.
Not yet.
That's.
Okay. All right. Moving on, we go to the consent agenda. Under our consent agenda this evening, we have authorized the interim city manager to hire the following positions: Public Works Maintenance Worker 2, firefighter, municipal grounds maintenance worker 2, library program specialist, accounting clerk, city recorder. We also have resolution number 1581, a resolution of Toledo City Council setting the street lighting fee for the fiscal year 25-26 and repealing resolution 1525.
Consent agenda as presented.
I'd like to move A to discussion.
And what to discussion? The whole thing?
Yes,
Item A.
item A.
Okay, so item A has been asked to be pulled from the consent agenda for discussion.
It's the whole thing.
No, no.
No, there's just one more.
All right.
Consent.
So let's, all
I will retract my motion.
right,
Thank you, Tracy.
do we have a motion on item B?
I move to approve the consent agenda B, resolution number 1581.
I second it.
It's been moved by Frank, seconded by Kim to approve consent agenda item B, resolution number 1581, a resolution of the Toledo City Council setting the street lighting fee for the fiscal year of 2025-2026 and repealing resolution number 1525. I will take a roll call vote on this motion. Councilor Kaufman,
Yes.
Councilor Mix,
Yes.
Councilor Burns,
Yes, please.
Councilor Keating,
Yes.
Council President Bush,
Yes.
Councilor Sylvia,
Yes, sir.
and I vote yes. Motion carries 7-0. Right, discussion consent agenda item A. Go ahead.
We were gonna do the.
You pulled it off for,
You Gonna do wait.
This is discussion on this item,
Okay.
okay? We asked to have it pulled for discussion, so that's what we're gonna do.
Good.
Um. This is David's request for council action. I'd just like to, I think this is a lot of positions that we are looking to fill, including a couple that are I think standard that we've discussed plenty. I think that I'm a little bit curious more than anything about where we are in the process in some of these, what our timeline expectations might be. I appreciate wanting to fill these positions as quickly as possible, but I also want to be cognizant of the fact that we are seeking a new permanent city manager. And if any of these positions, I'm mostly looking at something like the permanent city recorder position, are positions that would be more appropriate for us to be seeing hired by the permanent city manager, recognizing the closeness of the relationship between the city manager and the city recorder position. Is that one that might be better for us to be thinking about holding off? I bring it up because I guess my question is, we've brought in somebody on a temporary basis who I think, you know, we're happy with having, who I trust, who I think can do a great job for us on a temporary basis. Is there a need to hire this position very quickly? Or is there some allowance for us to be thinking about whether or not this is a decision that we'd rather see made by the permanent city manager?
David?
Fair question and in fact, an accurate one. We've gone ahead and we have been recruiting all of these positions, and the city recorder is one of those. Frankly, on the first round, first cutoff, first review, we're going to want to extend that one anyway. And we had an exact conversation today that the city recorder is a position that probably the new city manager ought to make the final decisions on. That said, we would continue the recruitment, but allow us at a timing that will allow that person to make that decision. So I have absolutely no concerns with removing that from this list of action items.
Great, thank you for that.
I actually have no problem with David hiring any of these positions.
Because I mean, you don't hire a city recorder and a city manager at the same time coinciding, and then when one leaves, unfortunately, this situation it did, but
So,
yeah, I don't see an issue with it.
so let me ask this question. So are we comfortable with just striking the city recorder side of this and just doing a motion on the other items?
And it can be brought back, right? Any of these can be brought back at any time if an exceptional candidate were to come around, or we were to find ourselves in a position where we need to hold him to hire somebody right away.
To be clear, the reason these are in front of you now, because we don't have candidates, finalists for any of these positions. We don't want to be caught in a position, frankly, where we're ready to make an offer, but council's not meeting for 2 weeks. That's good. That's a prescription for those good candidates. I agree with your point with respect to the city recorder. I would ask respectfully that you pre-approve the remainder of the positions.
And I'm fine with that. And I think from what I'm hearing from you, if we were to remove the city recorder from this list, we don't expect that you would be hiring anybody within the next couple of meeting periods, right?
I know.
So this could come back to us if an exceptional candidate were to come around, or we were to find ourselves in a position where you would expect to hire that position.
Okay, so no shade on you, Andrew, at all. Does anybody else have a problem with David hiring a city recorder?
No.
No.
No, but I understand Dave's thinking on this. Because our city recorder is also the city manager's executive assistant. That's part of the role they fill. I do think that while we need to advertise so that we can get a candidate who is built up, it's not necessarily barring you know, some deity walks in off the street and says, I want to be your city recorder. He can bring that back to us.
But here's the thing that I'm looking at. The devil's advocate here, if some person walks in and it's another Lisa, and we don't have meetings for 2 weeks, he can't make them an offer without our approval.
Well, we still have hiring
Of
process.
taking a chance of not being able to make an offer to somebody
Or even entertain anything.
Right.
because we don't include that.
One, I think that we could have a special session if something like that were to happen. We've had plenty of special sessions for, emergent issues when they come up. I also think when I look at these positions, the city recorder is also a position that works very closely in concert with council. And so when we're thinking about the city manager that we're hiring, we are talking about a culture fit. We are talking about a whole lot of things that relate to the work that we're doing as a council and how council interacts with the city management. So this isn't a lack of confidence in its hiring ability. It's that I think that when I look at this list, this is one of these things is not like the other. And I feel like the city recorder position is not like the others.
This is a department head position.
Okay.
I agree with striking it.
That's fine. I think now that I've heard enough of the reasoning.
Same here. I think we
I
do
think
have
I
a,
would be comfortable with striking and did it off for now. And like Andrew said, we can have a special session if that next Lisa walks in the door tomorrow. We can have a special session.
Yeah.
So,
I do think we're in a unique position, like you were saying, you never get to pick both at the same time, and we could really have a marriage made in heaven between the two, knowing,
truth is, I don't know how we would have picked anybody without Lisa in the past.
so I can understand.
So, I'll move to authorize the interim city manager to hire the following positions: Public Works, Maintenance Worker 2, Firefighter, Municipal Grounds Maintenance Worker 2, Library Program Specialist, and Accounting Clerk.
Seconded.
It's been moved by Tracy, seconded by Andrew to approve consent agenda item A. Authorize the interim city manager to hire the following positions: Public Works Maintenance Worker 2, Firefighter, Municipal Grounds Maintenance Worker 2, Library Program Specialist, and Accounting Clerk. I will take a roll call vote. Counselor Kaufman,
Yes.
Counselor Soviet,
Yes, sir.
Counselor Burns,
Yes.
Council President Bush,
Yes.
Counselor Keating,
Yes.
Counselor Mix,
Yes.
and I vote yes. Motion carries 7-0. We have a change in our discussion decision items. We are moving what would normally be item
Yeah, oh, no,
It's not in here.
Mr. Mayor, you have an addition to the agenda?
Yes, it's the addition, and we'll call it item I, and we will move it to the front. All right. Amber? You want to start us on this, or?
I'm afraid I just became aware of this application today, which is why it was dropped on the floor.
Okay. All right, so this is a application for Toledo Summerfest, alcohol consumption permit at Memorial Field. Go ahead with your presentation, please. Emily.
So I don't have much of a presentation. Heather, who handles all of our licensing, submitted this license. Our intention is doing very similar to what we did last year, offering a variety of beer, wine, and cider, all in canned products, contained within a beer garden. Similar, we would have, the festival has TCB for security, and then we would hire our own alcohol monitors. We'd offer a variety as well of canned cocktails similar to last year. Again, she was the one who submitted the permit, so I'm happy to answer any questions that you all may have. But from my understanding, we are doing a very similar, or hope to do a very similar setup that we did in 2024.
So all the alcohol will be contained within the fenced-in beer garden?
Correct. Yep. And similar to last year, there was a security personnel that was stationed at the entrance to ensure that no alcohol exited the beer garden.
Thank you.
The only question that I have is when it says event details on the application, she said, she put down for the expected daily attendance being 100 to 300 people.
That's the beer garden, not the
Got
event.
that. So hourly?
Hourly? Is that an hourly rate? Because I can drink more than that.
Unfortunately, I am not sure what that number expects. Obviously, there is a significantly higher attendance per day for the event. I would guess per hour that are coming throughout the beer garden, but that would be a clarification that I would have to ask Heather directly as to what she anticipated with that number,
I mean, if they run out of beer, they'll buy more, it's fine.
which we had to do last year as well.
So no. I think she's answered all my questions.
Any other questions, council?
Okay.
I would entertain a motion.
I move to approve the application by Oregon Beverage for the Toledo Summerfest event. I would move to approve the license for the beer garden.
Second. Moved by Tracy, seconded by Frank to approve the Toledo Summerfest application for their beer garden. Take a roll call vote. Counselor Kaufman,
Yes.
Counselor Burns,
Yes.
Counselor Keating.
Yes.
Council President Bush,
Yes.
Counselor Sylvia,
Yes, sir.
Counselor Mix,
Yes.
and I vote yes. Motion carries 7-0. Thank you, Emily.
Thank you all so much in approving and moving our agenda item to the top. We're really looking forward to being back in your city and hope for a great summer. So thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Glastonbury one? Oh, no, okay, never mind. It's about that when we talked to.
All right. Next item is public hearing on the city budget for fiscal year 2020, 2025, 2026. We'll open the public hearing. Staff, present the budget, please.
Yeah, I'll turn this over to your finance director, Judy, in just a moment. This is the public hearing on the budget for the city budget. We'll confront the urban renewal budget separately in a separate meeting this evening. You have received previously written comments. They were included with your packet, and I believe you have received another set of comments today. Is that correct?
Those.
Yes. Yes, so you have another set of comments today, and this is your opportunity to digest those comments as well as to take any further comments from the public, and then following that, we would like to go ahead and talk to you about adopting the budget and going through the process necessary.
Okay. Any members of the public that would like to address council on the budget?
Right on cue, girls. We're here again.
Hi, my name's Lisa Watson. I'm here on behalf of the Quinta Pacific Railroad Historical Society, the Railroad Museum here in town.
And Brenda Brown, representing the Toledo History Center. So we came before the Budget Committee, made a brief general request. And then a presentation was given to the Budget Committee and the council by Lisa, because I was out of town. She did a great job. But it's my understanding that we were asked for some financial information to help you make a decision on what we're asking. So I did bring a copy of our budget, which is 2 pages long, guys. I did not make copies because you get a ton of paper. So basically, you know that we are a 501c3 nonprofit, all volunteer organization. We have no paid staff. I wish we did, but we don't. So the bottom line, just to kind of keep us running, keep our doors open, we need about $27,340 a year. Now, we go out, we send out donation letters and go out for whatever small grants we can come upon. Yeah, we hold events and small sales and whatever we can do to draw in some money. But it's a job. It's a big job. So we work hard at it, but it really isn't enough. So there's a lot of things that we'd like to do for the History Center and for the city. We have had, just recently, we have had 3 really significant advertising opportunities, which we could not participate in because we just didn't have the money to do it. So we had to pass, which is kind of disheartening. And even the budget numbers are a little deceptive because our board of directors buy literally almost all of our office supplies, right down to toilet paper and paper towels. I mean, Scotch tape,
And
copy
so,
paper,
you know,
inker, printer ink. So, you know, individually, we put a lot in that would be really nice if we didn't have to. So, and just an example of things that we have to do to keep things moving along as an all volunteer organization. Because we have a big space now. It's very nice. It's very visible. We have a lot of artifacts and exhibits. But it's a lot to heat. So the only time we run the heat in that building is when we have someone there, a volunteer, which we are open 5 days. Yeah, 5 days a week, 4 hours a day. Not there, the heat is not on. We simply cannot afford it. So that's where we are. I'm begging. Okay. And I know your budget's tight. I get that. But anything you can do to help us would be really good.
and I do really want to impress upon the council that we do go for grants. And anytime I find any grant opportunities, I, relay it
We shuffle
to,
back and
we
forth.
are, really connected on that. But the operational funding is really the most difficult to obtain. There's so many places asking for operational funding. And again, nobody wants to pay your utility bill. They want to do something brand new that they can put their name on, a new display or things like that. But it's hard to do these projects when we're just trying to keep the lights on, we're just trying to keep the doors open. And so, and just like the History Center, it's the same thing at the Railroad Museum. I can't even tell how much printer ink I've bought in out of my own pocket, just so I can keep things going. And, same with toilet paper, office supplies and things like that. And so we do have a significant more operating costs due to there being a paid employee with the Railroad Museum. But again, anything and everything that could be given to help with daily operationals, utilities, insurance, things like that is greatly appreciated and will be put to good use for both of our organizations.
Yeah.
So what was the outcome of the meeting that y'all had? Was it the county?
So I went to the county, their budget committee, and spoke to the commissioners and those on the budget committee with an appeal for all 5 museums requesting the same level of funding. They have posted their budget online, but I was pouring through it and I couldn't find anything on like an actual kind of line item because we are funded out of the transient room tax. So I'm still looking at it to find our exact line item. But we have been assured by the executive assistant Geneva. She said that they are working to keep funding at the same level and that if there's any updates, she will let us know.
Is there like a by when, a seasonal time when they let you know that?
Honestly, we submit end of year reports. We have to get those in by the end of the fiscal year, so June 30th. And historically, their payments don't really come in on a schedule. I'll just get an email saying funds have been transferred. And so we're expecting a new contract. So I imagine that would be the first step, is that we would all get an email with a new contract, dates updated and things like that. But frankly, yeah, we have no idea. I'm hoping we know by the beginning of the fiscal year. Brenda has a little bit more experience with the county than I do, but
The county operates on the same fiscal year that we do, so they should have this budget finalized by the end of the month.
and they don't have a budget worksheet yet. I'm not, again, this is way over my head, and it's just that in the past, that's where we've been able to see our funding. And so yeah, we're kind of still in limbo. I mean, I'm hopeful, but really just still kind of up in the air. So
What we know that we have is that we do as stated in our biannual reports, and we're paid out of the approved funding, half and half, based on our report.
yeah, so we
The
get
first 2 quarters and then the second 2 quarters. No.
an invoice and, you know, that's when we receive our funds, but
So we know that we will receive the second payment for this fiscal year. We've not been notified at all
about this next fiscal
about
year.
what next fiscal year is going to look like, other than the reassurance from Geneva, the commission assistant, who said,
So this is the third time that they've come to us and we've discussed this. We discussed it during budget. Last year, they needed emergency funds around this time.
right,
And we took out of our city council discretionary fund, correct me if I'm wrong, $12,000.
Our strategic reserve fund.
Our strategic reserve fund. And it seems like when we did the budget again, we were planning on doing that again.
Correct. And then what I'm hoping to have happen tonight is that we form a consensus so that we can have that motion in front of us at the next meeting
Okay.
of how much that would be and what that's for.
Okay, because I would like to make sure we do that, because, you know, I don't want these ladies to continue being limbo when we know that we're ready to do something.
So we can do that. We can do that during council comments, make the consensus so that they have an idea of what that number should look like, so that it can come back to us as something we can pass out of our strategic reserve fund.
All right.
if there is something specific that you would like to
Yeah.
fund,
Like a specific line item, like
let us
rent
know.
for
We can tell
them,
you.
utilities, insurance, workman's comp, you know, it's.
Andrew?
Well, one of the questions I had is being very cognizant of how tight our budget is it an amount that we would need to pay all upfront, or could we do something where we are doing installments or on a quarterly basis? We're budgeting, we're expecting to say put in 10 or 12,000, but quarterly, where it kind of still is encouraging and
Yeah.
incentivizing.
No, that would be,
Go out for grants, and if you don't need
Yes.
that money, we don't necessarily need to take it out of the funds. I just want to be.
We can discuss that and how we want to frame that.
Okay.
That's within our purview because it's our fund.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, ladies. Appreciate your time yet again. Anyone else wish to address council on the budget? Wendy, come up, state your name for the record, please.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Wendy. I'm Wendy Kell, and I'm here as a citizen tonight, but also as your evidence tech. Whether that gets me in trouble or not. I want to express my concern regarding the.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right. No, I don't mean to interrupt you terribly, but you're addressing them as a representative of the community, as the citizen of the community, not.
Yes, I am.
Not as an evidence clerk.
No,
Right.
but they all know who I am, so I just wanted to clarify that, because I didn't know if you knew who I was.
I did. I
Okay,
just want to make sure that there was a clear distinction that you're addressing as in your citizen's capacity, not as
I am.
an employee of the city.
Wouldn't want to get myself fired first time I see you. I want to express my concern regarding the proposed elimination of the office and records manager position in the city budget. The position is absolutely essential to the daily operations, integrity, and long-term accountability of the police department. Office and records manager carries out numerous vital responsibilities, including overseeing the proper dissemination, filing, and long-term retention of police records, ensuring compliance with state and federal regulations. They also process court-ordered seals and expunsions, which have dates that they have to be filed by. Managing the onboarding of new employees and the exit of departing staff, including inventory and control of uniforms, equipment, and gear. They order all department supplies and process billing and invoices, ensuring efficient use of department funds. They enter crime and incident data into the national incident-based reporting system, maintaining state reporting compliance. Acting as a liaison with outside agencies, maintaining goodwill with the community, and fostering trust in public service. They assist officers and staff with investigative support, entering LEDS records, processing sexual offender registrations, and responding to all internal and external records requests. Unfortunately, our department has fallen behind in many of these critical areas because the current office and records manager has been required to cover the 911 dispatch desk full-time due to staffing shortages over the last several years. As a result, tasks essential to compliance, transparency, and operational readiness have been delayed or deprioritized, creating risk and inefficiency across the board. While maintaining the daily operations of the department, there are a vast amount of sensitive name and report files to import into the new software system that was obtained with the consolidation of the dispatch center. This position is essential to ensure this task is completed on time. Eliminating this position would severely compromise our administrative capabilities, reduce our ability to meet reporting requirements, and increase the workload on sworn officers who should be focused on public safety duties. It would also weaken interagency coordination and diminish our responsiveness to public records requests, undermining transparency and public trust. The office and records manager is not a luxury, it's a necessity for legal compliance, operational efficiency, and professional service to the community. Rather than eliminating the position, I urge this council and the city leadership to consider implementing a temporary hiring freeze for the Toledo Police Department, as other agencies have done to preserve essential mission-critical roles such as this one. Such a step could offer necessary budget relief without compromising the integrity, safety, or accountability of city operations. I sincerely ask that you reconsider the proposed cut and recognize the indispensable value this position brings, not only to our department, but to the city and the community we serve. Thank you for your time and consideration of this matter.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to address council? Anyone online? Okay. At this time, I will close the public hearing at 6:55. Okay, council deliberations. Thoughts, questions?
Are the deliberations on the things that we've been spoken to about, or are they on just the budget itself?
Go ahead, David.
I failed to give you an overview of where you are today prior to your considering this action, but so just to set the stage a little bit, you have the public comment. You have before you a budget that has been submitted by the budget officer. We of course solicit information, bringing information from all our department heads, and I assume they from their staffs. This is a budget that balances on the backs of the staff reductions you've heard about. It also is largely due to reductions in revenues that we've received both from the fire district issues as well as the closing of the sidelining of the Juno project, where they unfortunately had to come to you with a budget that was it would have been operating somewhat in a deficit position in the past. It was accelerated by the unfortunate changes that we've had this year. So this budget is balanced. It relies heavily on transfers from the council reserve, as you're aware, leaving you not a lot for independent use. This has gone through the budget committee. The budget committee has heard many of the same concerns and arguments, has approved this budget for your consideration tonight for adoption. It is a $27 million budget. It is 5.18 tax rate, which is your maximum under the law. And you have a new line item, which is the water bond issue that was closed back several days ago on the 11th of June. We did receive the funds, and so this was very timely that we were able to begin the property tax levy going forward, assuming that you pass the budget as presented to you, the resolution as presented to you. So with that, this is your budget. You have some freedom of movement as to what you can do with respect to the budget that was presented to you, approved by the budget committee. That is with limitations per law, but it's yours to do with as you wish at this point.
I have a question for you. Employee position matters are not, they're part of the budget, the budgeting of those positions. But it's not for us for the budget or the council to say, okay, you can't hire another police officer, you can refill this position. Wouldn't that be more the city manager's purview? I mean, it feels, it's not our purview. I know that.
If you were, no, I think you're correct in assuming that, you know, the idea of freezing hirings would be at a city manager level. But if you were to turn around and say, let's add a position back into the budget, we would have to come back to you at some point and say, how, you know, I mean, we would have to come, you would actually, if you didn't solve the revenue problem for us tonight, because that would be probably, I'm not sure what the numbers, but it's a six-figure change in the budget when you take in salary and benefit package. We would have to come back to you and ask you, where do you want that cut to come from? And I don't think a hiring freeze is gonna do it. Unless you don't want that police officer that has been frozen and for the coming year, because
Well,
that's.
and that's what my second part of this was gonna be, can we bring this back for discussion?
You have to have.
We've had some, I mean, not the budget.
Oh.
I'm talking about this particular, the proposals that have been made in our public comment. I mean, is this something that we want to bring back and consider as city council, or is this something that we want to? I mean, I don't know how, this, part of this is we're being addressed with stuff that isn't our purview. But at the same time, I mean, it's valid. I mean, there's valid concerns and it feels like we need to address them.
Well, I think it's something that long-term, we as a council have got to address because of our budget shortfall. How are we going to keep the city moving forward? And I'm hoping that when we get the new city manager on, that person will be open to having those discussions, because we can't go into another budget cycle like we did this one, essentially on the skin of our teeth, barely making it through. We need to get, it's one of the things that whoever the new city manager is gonna have to understand. We've got issues that we've got to get working on now. We can't wait until January. It's got to be stuff that is discussed in September and October and November before we ever get to doing budget numbers. How are we going to do this?
Well, and so here's, I guess, my position, and this is why I kind of wanted to discuss it down the road or very soon. Is, you know, I'm seeing a police position that's not filled. We have this other position that could be filled. If it's already budgeted for that position, it would just be a swap. And we wouldn't have to pass a supplemental budget to that. That would be just a decision that could be made later. I just want to make sure it's not falling through the cracks once we pass this budget. I want to make sure this issue is still being addressed. It's too important to let slip through the cracks. So.
Well, I also, I feel as though we have been largely hearing we're hearing about this at a point where we can't do as much about it as we want to be able to.
I've been hearing about this for years.
This position or the elimination of one FTE from the police department is something that is coming pretty late in this process.
But it's not.
In terms of. Okay. What I'm looking at now more than anything is a recognition that we are where we are with our budget. We can't make a lot of big changes to our budget. A big point of frustration that I'm feeling is that I don't feel like I'm getting information through a proper chain of command where it's coming to me and saying, this is what the department needs, this is how we plan to fill it, or this is what we need to fill it. I feel like what I'm seeing is a budget that people who are currently in positions that are in some way affected by the budget are coming and saying, well, now this is how it screws us. I don't feel like I'm getting it through the chain of command. I feel like there are 3 steps. I want to see my city manager proposing to me something that has come through the police chief that has been done by the department. And I don't know that that's something that I've ever gotten on this.
No,
I've been on council for 6 months now. I've been through this entire budget cycle. I have not seen a lot of this justification until tonight. And that's a really, really frustrating thing.
Okay, I will agree with that.
So what I look at, and to get to, I think what I'm mostly interested in, my biggest question for David is, I look at a very, very important short-term challenge that we're facing that is addressed in a couple of these public comments about some records work that needs to be done on a very time-sensitive basis. I know that we moved a decent amount of our salary money into, and I don't know if this is just purely administrative or where it can be spent across the city, into services, recognizing that we were not having positions filled by full-time employees. I know that we're leaning a little bit more toward temporary services and contractual basis services. For the sake of this immediate need that we are seeing with this records keeping work that needs to be done in a very short period of time, is this something that can be done on a contractual basis as opposed to being a permanent position? Because I think that we are being asked to make a permanent position decision based on a very temporary need. And that is the most significant sort of basis of an argument that I'm getting in a lot of these public comments, is that one of the things or the most pressing thing that is justifying the need for this position is something that is a temporary backlog created by dispatchers who are doing multiple jobs, including this, and not being able to do this as well as they might have been able to if they were able to focus on it.
So my response to you is, I think, yes, the work can get done in this coming year. The chief and I have already had some conversations about alternative ways of doing this work. And to the extent that there's salary savings in the coming budget year, that may open up some opportunity for contracting some of this work back one way or another. It doesn't go unrecognized that there's a need.
Yeah.
But also you have a balance of needs. This is the first time you have to pay firefighters.
Yep.
In your fire department, yet you've been short for quite some time with volunteers. That's a pretty critical problem. I think you have, the work that needs to get done, the police department needs to get done. The work that needs to get done, the fire department absolutely needs to get done. You have a whole array of needs and less resource than you have, ability.
And really,
This is the budget we presented to you that I, as your city manager and budget director in this instance, believes is the best solution to the best balance of addressing those needs. And we will do and the chief understands that if there's work to be done, he'll have to find a way to get it done, and we will do our best to help him get that done.
I feel very satisfied with that answer. I think that's the answer that we've been hearing, and that we've been fairly as comfortable as we can be with the difficult situation that we're facing. I think that my biggest question, I just want to make sure that I feel confident I've gotten the answer to this, but yes, you feel confident that with our budget, that this sort of more immediate need is something that we are going to make sure that we are getting taken care of.
We're addressing it.
Okay.
Any other questions, comments on the budget?
Mayor, could I just ask that when you do the motion to approve the resolution, that you add the amount of the bonded debt to the motion, please? It's in the under background on your request for council action. Just to be sure that we get that covered.
Where is the page for the bond?
The amount of the bonded debt is $213,800.
Under background, right there.
What page?
45.
Judy, could you give them some exact language for that motion?
As written, except where it says the budget total was $27,667,446, and the amount of the bonded debt is $213,819.
213,000.
819.
Okay,
Thank you.
would entertain a motion on the bond, on the budget.
I move to approve resolution number 1578, a resolution of the Toledo City Council adopting the budget, appropriating funds and levying taxes for the fiscal year 2025-2026. The budget total was $27,667,446. The resolution establishes a tax rate of $5.18 per $1,000 of assessed tax value and $213,819 of bonded debt.
A second.
It's been moved by Tracy, seconded by Andrew, to approve resolution number 1578, a resolution of the Toledo City Council adopting the budget, appropriating funds and levying taxes for the fiscal year 2025-2026. The budget total was $27,667,446. The resolution also establishes a tax rate of 5.18 per thousand of assessed value and $213,819 of bonded debt. I will take a roll call vote. Counselor Coughlin.
Yes.
Counselor Sylvia.
Yes.
Counselor Burns.
Yes.
Council President Bush.
Yes.
Counselor Keating.
Yes.
Counselor Mix.
Yes.
I vote yes. Motion carries 7-0. All right, the outcome of the vote was budget passes 7-0. Next item.
Wasn't it?
Judy, you want to take this? Next item is resolution number 1579, a resolution of the Toledo City Council declaring the city of Toledo's election to receive state shared revenues for fiscal year 2025-2026 and certifying compliance with ORS 475D related to marijuana sales inside city limits.
So this resolution, if adopted, allows us to file with the State of Oregon Department of Administrative Services that we wish to receive state shared revenue. It requires that you have a hearing, and you did have a hearing. It also talks about the marijuana sales inside the city limit, and we will get a portion of the marijuana sales tax from the state.
Every year, the city holds a public hearing for the purpose of providing the public the opportunity, the right one, the opportunity to offer input into the use of state revenue sharing funds. The officer responsible for dispersing the funds to cities under ORS 323.555, ORS 366.785 to 366.820, and ORS 471.805 shall, in the case of a city located within the county having more than 100,000 inhabitants, according to the most recent federal decennial census, disperse each funds only if the city provides four of the more following services: police protection, fire protection, street construction maintenance and lighting, sanitary sewers, storm sewers, planning, zoning, and subdivision control, one or more utility services. The city of Toledo provides more than four of the above mentioned services. I will open the hearing for the use on state revenue sharing at 7:12 p.m. This is a time for any member of the public to speak for or against how the city will use state revenue sharing funds. Is there anyone in the public who would like to speak to council regarding state revenue sharing? All right, hearing none, I will close the public hearing at 7:13. Council, time for us to deliberate on resolution 1579.
Is the deliberation yes, give us money, or no, don't give us money?
The deliberation is, yeah, we want you to share it with us, or no, we don't want you.
Money, yes.
Then would you like to make that motion?
Sure.
There you go.
Money, yes. I move to approve resolution number 1579, a resolution of the Toledo City Council declaring the city of Toledo's election to receive state share revenues for fiscal year 2025-2026, and certifying compliance with ORS 475C related to marijuana sales inside city limits.
Second.
Frank gets it. It's been moved by Kim, seconded by Frank, to approve resolution number 1579, a resolution of the Toledo City Council declaring the city of Toledo's election to receive state shared revenues for fiscal 2025-2026 and certifying compliance with ORS 475C related to marijuana sales inside city limits. I will take a roll call vote. Counselor Kaufman,
Yes.
Counselor Mix,
Yes.
Counselor Burns,
Yes.
Counselor Keating,
Yes.
Counselor Sylvia, Council President Bush,
Yes.
and I vote yes, motion carries 7-0.
Yippee.
Next item, second reading of ordinance number 1423, an ordinance providing incentives for multifamily affordable housing, creating Toledo Municipal Code, Chapter 1344, affordable housing, and amending Toledo Municipal Code, Chapter 13.24, and declaring an emergency.
Probably think you're going through deja vu all over again.
Yeah.
We know.
How many times now have you seen the same ordinance? We are presenting this to you this evening out of an abundance of caution. We were advised, at least we had one member of the public suggest to us that we had not provided adequate notice on the adoption of the ordinance on the last time. So out of an abundance of caution, we're presenting this to you on second reading. You do have your city attorney, Savannah Miller, here in person, but if you wish to ask any questions with respect to the process, I don't know how much background she can give you as, well, fairly new, actually, like myself. So at any rate, yes, we're just asking that you take this on one time again. We think this will put it finally to rest, and then the next time you will see anything with respect to this would be an actual hearing in front of the council with respect to an actual application from probably Northwest
Affordable housing.
Affordable Housing.
Was this the one John Robinson was commenting on last
So
time?
everything's
And I had
fixed
to go back to the attorney?
So this is so we can get this on the books and get the ball going. We'll come back and go through
and fix it
and then
later.
fix it later. Remember, that was still
Yeah.
coming.
Yes, I'm sorry, I should have mentioned that.
It's okay.
I couldn't-
This is we say this is a long train. And hopefully we are finally seeing at least the car before the caboose.
This will be a work in progress.
Any questions, council? Then I would entertain a motion.
Make a motion to adopt. No, you go ahead.
Rochambeau,
Okay, I make a motion to adopt an ordinance of the Toledo City Council providing incentives for multifamily affordable housing, creating Toledo Municipal Code, Chapter 13.44, affordable housing, and amending Toledo Municipal Code, Chapter 13.24, and declaring an emergency. I have to read it again. An ordinance of the Toledo City Council providing incentives for multifamily affordable housing, creating Toledo Municipal Code, Chapter 13.44, affordable housing, and amending Toledo Municipal Code, Chapter 13.24, and declaring an emergency.
Second.
been moved by Tracy, seconded by Frank. To adopt. To adopt ordinance 1423, an ordinance of the Toledo City Council providing incentives for multifamily affordable housing, creating Toledo Municipal Code, Chapter 13.44, affordable housing, and amending Toledo Municipal Code, Chapter 13.24, and declaring an emergency. Take a roll call vote. Counselor Kaufman,
Yes.
Counselor Burns,
Yes.
Counselor Keating,
Yes.
Council President Bush,
Yes.
Counselor Soviet,
Yes, sir.
Counselor Mix,
Yes.
and I vote yes, motion carries 7-0.
Now we redo it.
No, because it's the second time we've done it, we don't have to read it twice.
We don't have to do a second motion.
She did.
The second time we've done it.
No, that's a second reading.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll take your word for it.
Well, because normally we end up doing these things when we declare an emergency, right? We do them in one meeting.
Right,
And that's why we have to do that twice.
okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
know.
I moved to ditto.
I can't keep it. I can't keep track. I just want to be careful. On our dashboard to make sure that it.
Yeah,
fits.
yeah.
Okay.
When we bring that up. Am I right?
Yes.
Oh,
I'm
thank God.
exhausted.
Okay. Next item, amendment to employment agreement between City of Toledo and David Quan. David?
I bring this to you out of abundance of personal caution. Just, I sat through the hearing, the trial in Eugene, saw the outcome, a little shocked. At any rate, going forward, I recognize that my current contract is probably not clear on this point, and I really wanted to get that clarity from you that if at the end of my term that I need to get called back on behalf of the city, it would be for the city. And sort of a subpoena, I wouldn't need to go back, but I would like to be back there and support the city, but I really don't want to do that on my own nickel. So this is just asking for that indemnity, should that be needed.
Well, and one thing, as we've noted with this, with going through the last lawsuit, CIS reimburses the city, yeah. So this is just so that he doesn't have to sit around waiting for CIS to get around to it.
Don't think.
We didn't put this in your contract. No, it just
This
is
is
a part
really
of the contract makes me nervous, but I understand why.
So these contract ends like second or something like that, so I mean, never. But if litigation arises, that could be 2 years from now, 3 years.
Oh, right.
7 years. It could be 7 years from now.
It could be.
What she was asking is if that wasn't in your original contract with
No,
us.
it's not.
Not as expressly as I wish it was, as I went back.
Not as boilerplate. as
You got to know us a
it
little more.
Just to confirm.
That, like,
should be.
if ever again,
That's what this does.
consider that,
That's
and
what this does.
Yeah.
So see if ever again.
hopefully never again, but if ever again. I can't believe we overlooked that.
All right, go.
Are there any monetary considerations that are being changed with this amendment that would not be covered by insurance in the event that such a lawsuit were to be brought forward?
I don't know if I understand the question, I'm sorry.
Are there any financial costs to the city that would not qualify for coverage under CIS if a lawsuit were to be brought?
CIS is not terribly clear on what they will, they won't pre-approve much of anything on your behalf, but I've not seen them refuse, I've not seen them turn down those costs when presented with them. So for instance, there's lodging that I had put in for that week, that will go in as part of the reimbursement, our request for reimbursement or against our deductible, one or the other.
Any other questions, comments, council? All right, I would entertain a motion.
I move to approve an amendment to the March 5th, 2025 employment contract. Excuse me, with David Klein, City Manager Pro Tem as follows. Now, do I have to read all of that?
Yep.
Oh, boy. Modification of section 1.1 terms as followed in highlighted text. Do I just read the highlighted, the whole thing? Okay. Number one, term. The term of this agreement is for a period to last no longer than 6 months, except as to section 8. Future actions, claims, hearings which shall survive the term of this agreement without limitations, commencing on March 10, 2025 and expiring on September 10, 2025. The term, unless this agreement is amended or renewed as provided in section 5 or terminated as provided in section 9. Number 2, addition of new section 8, future actions, claims, hearing as follows. In the event this matter proceeds to an administrative process, litigation, or other proceeding, an employee is called as a witness, party, or is otherwise asked or compelled to provide additional services, including if employee is called as a witness or named as a defendant by a plaintiff in a suit against the city of Toledo. Employees' hourly rates per section 6 remuneration will apply, and such compensation and reasonable expenses shall be paid as provided above.
Shouldn't that be remuneration,
I
not
thought so too,
remuneration?
but I just read the word.
No. Remuneration?
I think it's remuneration, actually, I'd have to do a Google check.
Okay,
I think that's actually it.
I'm gonna stay up all night over that one.
Is there a second?
There.
I forgot, I got just,
I didn't want to read it again.
no, so you did great.
It's moved by Frank, seconded by Tracy. Well, please look it up while I'm doing it. Motion, it has been moved by Frank, seconded by Tracy, to approve an amendment to the March fifth, 2025 employment contract with David Klein, City Manager Pro Tem, as follows. Point one, modification of section 1.1, term as follows in highlighted text. One, term. The term of this agreement is for a period to last no longer than 6 months, except as to section 8. Future actions / claims / hearings which shall survive the term of this agreement without limitation, commencing on March 10, 2025 and expiring on September 10, 2025. The term, unless this agreement is amended or renewed as provided in section 5 or terminated as provided in section 9. 2, addition of a new section 8, future actions / claims / hearings as follows. In the event this matter proceeds to an administrative process, litigation, or other proceeding, employee is called as a witness, party, or is otherwise asked or compelled to provide additional services, including if employer is called as a witness or named defendant by a plaintiff in a suit against the city of Toledo. Employees' hourly rates per section 6 remuneration will apply, and such compensation and reasonable expenses shall be paid as provided above. We'll take a roll call vote. Counselor Kaufman.
Yes.
Counselor Burns.
Yes.
Counselor Keating.
Yes.
Council President Bush.
Yes.
Second one.
No, you did.
I seconded, but that's good.
You said yes. Action seconded by Council President Bush. Councilor Mix.
Yes.
Oh. Council President Bush.
Yes.
Councilor Sylvia.
Yes, sir.
And I vote yes. Motion carries 7-0. All right. Next item, invitation for city council to participate in community events. Harrison.
Yes, so this is something that we got a grant for. Our assistant director, Cindy Balek, has been putting this together. We received a grant in the amount of $1,500, as you may recall, from Oregon Humanities to host events on the theme of the people and the public, with latitude to interpret that however it meets our needs. So we're going to be holding 3 events over the course of the summer, starting July 17th. We'll be having a community conversation, like a panel discussion on the subject of who are we as a town, the past and leading into the present of Toledo. Second will be August 21st on the subject of who do we want to be in the future. And then the third event will be in September. That'll be like a community resource fair. We'll have various community organizations, service organizations, volunteer opportunities. So as far as the July 17th event, the next one that's coming up, we would like to invite council members formally to come and, speak as themselves on the community, on past and present. But we wanted to be sure to extend that invitation on a formal basis, on the off chance that if we get enough folks from council showing up or participating, we don't want to hit that critical mass of it becoming a public meeting without talking about it first and being able to be proactive about declaring that as a potential meeting. So that's our thinking on that. So y'all are invited.
Glad to hear it.
Thank you, Harrison.
We'll see you then.
So should we just post a potential?
I believe that's already in order.
This is the event that I was talking to you about possibly doing resolution.
All right, good. Thank you. Anything else you need from us?
Nope.
All right. Thank you, Harrison.
Thank you.
You're always supposed to say $1 million.
Let me grab.
I know it's a lottery, Harrison. You'll get a portion of it, at least the library.
They were kind enough to invite me, participating a little bit in the programming, and the programming that they have lined up for these first couple of events are fantastic.
Fun.
Yeah,
Great.
it's been great.
All right, our next item is application to consume alcohol in public places for the Glastonbury Renaissance Fair.
This person here, online with us.
No, there's no one here representing the application. You'll see that the application in your packet will indicate that it's for an event in Terrebonne, Oregon. They submitted a revised application, which will have passed out to you this evening to correct the former application.
I saw the one I'm looking at is the one that's from this evening, and I have questions. So I really wish they'd had somebody here to answer it, because it's saying there's not gonna be any on premises consumption. And they're talking about, so.
Well, minors where the beer and wine is being.
Yeah, I have a problem with this one as it's filled out.
Well, and I thought that, didn't we do this one?
This is their third or fourth year doing this.
I know, but
It is.
but what I'm getting at is, didn't we do this at the last meeting? Because we made the stipulation that it has to stay within the confines of.
Because that was my.
That's the van life.
That was for a different applicant for the same event.
Oh,
Oh, okay, thank you. All right. I don't think I've ever seen two applications for consumption at the same event in this town. This is,
So this is a particular, another vendor that is hoping to
gotcha.
sell mead specifically.
So then I think thing is that they both submitted under the applicant name of Orin Moore Artisan Mead, however, with different contact people and with different details,
Weird.
which is why it's being presented.
Should we ask for clarification?
I want the,
Pies, turkey legs, it's great.
Off-premise sales.
yeah, they're gonna
They want to sell to go.
and then they have tastings, but they're saying they're not doing any on-premise consumption, and that,
But if you're doing a tasting, that's an on-premise.
that's an on-premise consumption.
And then proposing to allow minors is a big no-no.
Well, taste
Yeah.
It's not in the beer garden.
Drinking.
There is like
Tasting.
red flags popping
Yeah.
everywhere on this application.
Well, only because I've filled them out before and.
Yeah, I think.
Been on
I've never
that.
filled one out before. I just wanted a bunch of them.
Consumption was the other permit.
Correct.
This is a permit for off-premises sales
Which also includes a wine tasting.
and the wine tasting in order to
Yeah, we're
sell
gonna do that.
to go.
they're
Cheap,
selling
no?
whole bottles sealed to go, maybe.
But
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah, that's what off-premises is it's sealed,
right,
contained.
like if you went to a winery and you bought.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what the off-premises is. On-premises is open gotcha.
Okay.
And I would like to also highlight, this has not been reviewed by the police department because the revised application came in today.
Oh,
They just want to be able to sell to go.
So we want the police department to look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we.
yeah.
have someone to- when we-
The event date is June 28th, though.
We run, do we run the risk? I know one of the things that we really wanted was that the alcohol consumption, selling and consumption would happen in an enclosed area or in, a fenced area. One of the concerns that I have is if these are containers that can be opened, purchased outside of that fenced area.
mhm.
I worry that somebody
Wow.
could purchase them, be drinking them outside of that area, and we are losing that security.
So I'm going to propose that this gets tabled till next Wednesday. Give the police department the opportunity to look over this so that they can respond to the questions we have asked tonight. Because as this application is written right now, it's a train wreck.
Yep.
And they have a lot to fill in the blanks on. Plain and simple. So I'm gonna table this to our next meeting.
Good idea.
Agreed.
Actually, with tabling, you don't have to agree.
Well, I'm gonna agree.
That's the one neat thing. about that table.
I told my wife that these events are gonna eventually hate me because I'm against this open drinking thing.
Go along. All right, our next item, outdoor event application, Pony House Summer Kickoff.
It's not good.
I'm about this one.
As a person who is involved in this, I've been asked to be a board member. I will tell you that what this event is trying to get started in town. For those of you that don't know, in our school district has a little over 5,000 students. At last count, over 650 of them are homeless.
No way.
Yes, yes way. They're couch surfing, they're staying in cars, they're staying with friends, they're doing, and I've known this intimately because several over the years have stayed at my house. And what Tyler and a group of us are trying to do is at least get them a place where after school, during those hours, not all night, but at least a place where they can come, have a place they can call their own. That's why we asked kids, what would you like to call it? This is what the kids came up with, so that's what we're going to go with. But this event is to kick off the drive to try and make that a reality here. The youth in this town, a lot of them, how do I say this? They don't have a connection to anything because they've been abandoned one way or another. And we're trying to show them that there actually are people that give a crap and we do care and we want to make something good happen for them. One of the things that we are planning on doing is bringing people in, teach them how to cook for themselves, teach them how to do all those things that normally you would have a parental unit do. And to give them a space of their own so they don't have to go just to the skate park or go hang out in a park and sit under a tree and that type of thing. It's a lot more than that. And I really hope that you all would come tomorrow night down there if we approve this. I think that it's absolutely vital to the health of this community and other communities around us. These kids got to know they matter. And this is one of the ways we can show that to them. Yes, Frank.
So if people want to be able to follow them, the Homie House is on Facebook.
Right.
This is an age restricted place, so it's not all the way down to young kids. It's 14 into adult years of 21 years of age.
14 to 21.
So it's working with them past high school so they can continue to get this education. They've got free boating tomorrow. They've teamed up with Port of Toledo, so it should be a real fun event.
Yeah.
It's needed. These kids need something. Shoot.
Love you, Frank.
Well, I would move to approve the application as presented.
Oh, and there's a GoFundMe to raise money for the Homie House.
I second.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
6 to 8:30 tomorrow.
And so where is it?
Waterfront.
Down at Waterfront Park.
Oh, that. Yeah.
Moved by Tracy, seconded by Andrew to approve the application as presented. Any other comments? All right, I will take a roll call vote. Councilor Kaufman,
Yes.
Councilor Soviet,
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Councilor Burns,
Yes.
Council President Bush,
Yes.
Councilor Keating,
Yes.
Councilor Mix,
Yes.
and I vote yes, motion carries 7-0. Next item, issue tracker. Any questions, comments on our issue tracker?
Nope, not for me.
I haven't been down by Memorial Field. What's happening with the bathrooms?
They're torn down.
Are they torn
They're
down?
gone.
Well, sort of. There's a pile there. It's hard to close the door.
Yes, sir.
One thing I think I heard a consensus earlier was on following up on the comment that we had in the open comment session with respect to speeds.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Want us to take a second look at
yes, please.
Please. Yes, please.
that to the issue tracker as well.
Is that the thing that I was gonna bring up? Was there something?
Something else.
There was something, do you remember this?
The strategic.
I thought it was the.
Right, this.
Thank you. Thank you. She's already earning her pay.
Next is committee updates. Do we have anything the our esteemed staff would like to bring up tonight? Department head.
Well, earlier we reported to you that we did close on the water bond, so that was a huge deal from our perspective. We are frankly pretty happy that we got to the point of having you a budget adopted this evening, given where we all were back in March. Absent a number of key personnel, so we're fairly happy with that. You have approved audits, you have a financial reports that are fairly current. You have
Way ahead of some jurisdictions, and I'll just leave it at that.
I just wanted to leave that with you because I think, you know, one of the things we talked about during your retreat was one of the key roles of the council, if not the most important role, is the fiduciaries that you are for our major business in this thing. And so congratulations to you. We've gotten to a place where business as usual, it's normal. We have a whole slew of recruits that are in process. Our new HR director is doing yeoman work, getting us to a space where we actually have some semblance of you're having a team of staff instead of a team of contractors, which is where you're at a little bit at the moment, unfortunately. But we're making some progress. I feel, you know, I think I can tell you that at this point in time, towards the end of the close of the fiscal year, we feel fairly good about where we've come to as a whole group, council, staff. And I think this is done pretty well for all of us.
Okay, since he won't say it, FEMA paid us.
What?
Yeah, that too.
FEMA paid us $106,000 for the cleanup from the storm.
Yeah, nice.
I don't know about you, but with everything that's going on, I like having that hot check in our hand.
Well,
I'm surprised that you weren't dancing in the aisle.
Because they got another.
I was tired of beating my head against the wall.
Brian worked his tail off to get that.
Oh, thank you. And now that we've had 3 of those in a row, I'm thinking those emergencies aren't gonna end in soon.
Well, hopefully we'll just be better prepared.
And we do, we get better every year, you know, because how long did we go before, and you grew up around here, how long did it been between an event and now we've had 3 in a row? Right? I think the last event was back in the early 2000s. For that type of ice.
Well, let me
that
see,
kind of stuff.
no, because it was about in 2009 or 2010, we had -7 here that year and we had an ice storm.
yeah, that's when the
I
dog
remember
road,
doing the damage that this one.
the dog
It did
road.
a lot. It did do a lot.
It was bad.
Yeah, it was bad. I was without power for like a week.
Well, I was with that one. So.
Yeah, it was, I mean, my husband almost left me. He's like, I don't want to live here in this place. This is hell. And even being from Hood River, he'd never experienced anything quite like that. So now he's used to it. He said,
Thank you, Brian, for all your hard work. Chief Laypaw, anything?
No.
HR, heard you working.
HR, working hard, building processes.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
If I may state, just her presence and all the other folks that have helped us in the interim have been a great help.
Yay.
All right. David, do you have anything else you'd like to ask? Would you like to introduce the person sitting next to you?
I sort of did a little bit earlier, but this is your new city attorney through the firm of Miller Nash. This is Sue Bunny Miller, not related to the Miller of the origin.
Thank you.
How did you know what I was gonna ask?
I asked it a couple of days ago, just to be clear. Apparently there are several Millers. I'm sure one of them is related to a founder. Nonetheless, Sue Bunny is here on your behalf and she will be talking to you at length during your upcoming executive session as well.
Thank you for being here, Subhani. We greatly appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me in person. It's really
You
nice.
got a great team here, Mayor. I mean, your staff team that's sitting here at this table, you got a great bunch, council there. And just they're doing the hard work for you.
Thank you. Council comments. I'll start with Councilor Burns.
Nothing.
Councilor Keegan.
Yeah, I want to echo sentiments just a moment ago of just it's great to see. It seems to be a great team. So many folks that we already know, as well as some new folks who have been helping us out. Glad to have you. One thing that I'd like to
request, if the rest of council is in agreement, is now that we have some human resources work happening, one of the things that I'd be really interested in is now that you've been here for a couple of weeks and maybe with a couple more weeks underneath you, at an upcoming meeting, I would love to have a more dedicated time slot to hear a little bit about some of the challenges that you're seeing at the city, some of the policies that you think we should be focusing on, that should be top of mind for us, and what some of, what some of those big challenges are and what solutions are that's for us. I'm really eager to kind of to hear from you and to get your perspective and think about just how big a hill I think we have to climb as we are rebuilding our city administration. And I think that you can give us a lot of guidance. I'm really hoping we can find some time to hear from you directly soon.
Be happy to.
Thank you.
Counselor Kaufman,
Nothing from me.
Counselor Sumi.
So, I do want to make sure to bring the Toledo Historical Museum and the Railroad Society's request. This is the third time they've been to us now, and we want to make sure we don't get this, we don't want to miss this. We need to follow through in whatever way we're going to do it. So I'd like to bring that for an item for discussion to the next meeting, possibly a decision item.
As an expenditure of the
Yes.
city council strategic reserve.
Yes.
So yes, if you and Lisa could bring some numbers for us to look at and, what we can do. I'm also going to be in contact with the county because I am, how do I say this? My irritation meter is going up again. And unfortunately, without Commissioner Jacobson, I'm not sure how much headway I'll make, but I'm going to try.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, sir.
So I think we're looking at the July 2nd, the next business meeting of the council.
They probably need to have it at the beginning of fiscal year. So the 25th, if we could do a quick decision item on that.
Can you get us a specific ask?
Yeah.
Short order, so we can get it in a packet.
Sure.
Can we have it by Friday morning?
Oh, come on, guys.
Just scribble it out
come
on
on.
a piece of notebook paper. Give me my.
Yes, you can have
Hey,
it.
hey, I knew you could do it.
No,
Tell Lisa to do it for you.
yeah. Lisa does her own, we do our own payroll. Comparatively, a lot.
Thank you, Brenda. All
We
right.
will get you numbers.
Anything else, Tracy?
Yeah, I have had the opportunity to have conversations with several members of the public that have come to me as they've heard the news came to us about the lawsuit that's been going on and how, the results of that lawsuit as they hit Facebook. There were some real questions like, why are you guys bankrupting our town? Toledo's going to disappear. We're not going to have anything anymore. And then I've had the opportunity to explain to them this is what insurance is for. And not really too much more than that, but to assure them that this is not going to, fortunately, this specific event is not going to affect that. And so there are people that are paying attention and have questions and have concerns. I, of course, encourage them to come to council rather than the office and share those concerns with us and allow us to answer them. So, but it was good. They were receptive. They were very understanding and they were happy to hear that. I think that's really all I can think of at this time. So.
Council President Bush.
Yeah, so I've heard something on the street that I would like clarification on in order to dispel any rumors that would be flying around. I had heard that the sheriff is telling people that Toledo has approached him about consolidating the police department. And he actually gave out a number of what we'd have to come up with in order for them to add Toledo to their patrol.
It would be interesting under whose authorization they were approached.
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah.
So I wanted to know if anybody else has it.
We're not soliciting that service. I don't know where that's coming from. The
Okay.
council hasn't asked.
Oh, I got an idea. where
I
it's
know
from.
who, I have every under, that I know.
My point is, the council hasn't directed us to make that.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, and that's why I wanted to ask instead of, letting rumors fly about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any other topics?
Not immediately.
I'm gonna piggyback a little bit on what Tracy said about the lawsuit. I've been approached by several people, same thing. And one of the things that I want to reassure the public on, and that this council and previous councils have been very, very good about, is when things happen, we not only look to our inside counsel, whoever we're contracted with or whoever our in-house counsel is, but we do look to CIS to see their thoughts on whatever it is. Because they are the city county insurance services, CIS. They are the folks that underwrite almost everything we do. And so it's, I try to assure people that we don't just go off half-cocked. We check with our attorneys. We make sure that we're being covered through this. CIS, they're the ones who handled the entire lawsuit for the 7+ years that it was going on. And the dimes were covered by them, not by our coffers. Now, we pay just like anybody else does into an insurance program, okay? Just like you do in your homeowner policy or your car insurance, okay? Same kind of deal. But, when stuff like this happens, then you're covered by your insurance. And we try to make sure that our insurance does cover us when we do things, okay? We are not irresponsible. We ask before we do. And so I want to reassure the public that we don't go off half-cocked. And in the light of things that have been going on in and around this area, I think it's important that they understand that. I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. I want to thank our department heads for coming in. Brian, I thought you were going to do a cartwheel when you came in because I knew how excited you were earlier today. It's not often that we get a check from the federal government. It's just nice when, after going through I'm gonna estimate at least a ream of paper and a few days worth of phone calls.
Did you guys make sure it cleared?
Cashed it.
Have you cashed it, is what she's asked.
Yeah, because I mean.
I don't catch anything, I let finance handle those things.
Well, Dave, you might
Judy
pass it
probably
on to
answer that.
That puppy cashed.
It's in the.
Yes, it went to the bank the same day we got it.
Oh,
Okay,
Judy,
good.
you're wonderful.
Thank you, Judy.
All right. With that, we're adjourned. We're gonna take a 5-minute recess and then we'll move into urban renewal.